Okay, so you've done the reflection exercise or you've done the online quiz about understanding what your values might be, and you've got your top 5 values. Now the thing to do is to reflect on what those values are. So the first thing to do is have a look at those top 5 values and think about, is there anything in those top 5 that are a surprise to you? Or are they things that you came to expect that would be in your values? Is there anything that you found interesting that showed up when you completed that exercise? Then I want you to think about how you incorporate those values into your everyday life. Look at each one of them and go, how often do you use or incorporate that value in your everyday life? And which ones are you really good at? Perhaps you're using them consistently. They are something that you do every day, or you think about who you are, how you show up, or the things that you focus on during your day or your week. And sort of make a note of the ones that you do quite well. Then you also have to think about ones that you perhaps are on that list that you don't do as well and probably need to be spending a bit more time and attention and focusing on. First of all, think, why am I not living that value as much as I would like? What's happened or going on in my world right now where that value, which seems to be important to me, isn't something that I'm paying attention to? And pick one of those values that perhaps you're not working on or sort of living as much right now to focus on first. If you're trying to hit all of those 5 values all at once, you're probably going to become overwhelmed, and what you're going to find is you're going to struggle to get everything accomplished the way you want to. So chunking it down, pick one value that you would like to work and focus on a little bit more for that. And think about what some of the actionable steps that you can do to help on that. So maybe one thing you can think of that you can do this week that will help you live that value a little bit more. Now remember, something else to think about is that these values are behavioural and they're external. So behavioural can be around who you want to be, so being more curious or being more adventurous. If that's something that you want to work on, how can you be more curious in your day-to-day life? Maybe asking more questions, maybe thinking before you speak and share your opinion on something. If you maybe perhaps wanting to be more adventurous, what can you go and do in terms of activities that might make you feel like you're being more adventurous? If your values are around, for example, the external aspects like family, what can you do this week to spend more time with your family or do something with your family? Or if it's around health, what is it that you can be doing this week that helps you work towards a better, healthier lifestyle, if that's one and a value that's important to you? Remember the examples that you would have been done in the online test, if that's the exercise that you've done. Words have meaning, and words mean different things to different people. So there are nuances to the words that are used within that values exercise or in that test. So think about what those words mean to you and how it might help you to better understand what that meaning is for you, and therefore what you might need to focus on with that value. For example, in a harmony, to one person might mean one thing, but it might be a slightly different interpretation by somebody else. So thinking about, what does that word mean and how is it important to you? And what can you do to be able to take actionable steps for the values that you aren't perhaps living as well as you'd like to, and things that you can do that are very small, just something you can do even this week, even today, right now, that you know is going to help you live your values a little bit more.